This is the question number 12. The following trial balance of Thakur Brothers of 28 February 23. There are some line items given. The trial balance is already prepared by accountant, but it is not correct. Or there are some items which is not recorded in this trial balance. So we have to redraft the trial balance, right? You are required to prepare a trial balance on 31st March 23, what they said, right? Before that, they have mentioned in the adjustment the following transactions were recorded during the month of March 23. Okay, so the balance was given to us 20th February and 31st March 23. There are some adjustments or there are some transactions done which is not covered in the trial balance given above. So we have to prepare a 31st March trial balance. Okay, so we'll start preparing for that. So I'll make the table for the trial balance. Right, before starting the trial balance, we need to tick mark this. Okay, so following transactions were recorded during the month of March, which is not included in the above trial balance. So credit purchase of goods rupees 2,20,000. So put a tick mark on purchases because there are some purchases we made in the month of March which is not included. Put a tick mark on purchases. And when we bought goods on a credit basis, the second effect means or the second item which will be get affected is creditors. So put a tick mark on creditors as well. Then they say credit sales of goods rupees 3,75,000. That also not included. So put a tick mark on sales. And when we bought goods or sold goods on a credit basis, so debtors and creditors will also affect now. So put a tick mark on debtors as well. Correct. Then after that we have a C part, purchase return. Purchase return. Just check in the some purchase return is given. It's not given. So whenever there's a purchase return, first of all, what happened? First of all, our creditors balance will reduce. So put one more tick mark on creditors and we'll create a purchase return. Okay, the new one. Next one, sales return. It is not given the sales return. So put a tick mark on debtors because when we are returning the goods to debtors, again the debtor balance will affect it. So put a tick mark on debtors and we get the new returns we have. So put a tick mark on returns also. Both returns we have, purchase and sales. Okay, so how to deal with this, how to do the sum, I'll show you. First one, what is the thing given? Opening stock, because the date is given 1st of April. So opening stock is 1,50,000, no tick mark, so I'll put it out. Second one, cash 18,000, no tick mark, can record directly, cash is a debit item. Third one is purchases. We have some adjustments on purchases, so that's why I'm writing this inside 24 lakh. The debit ones is a purchase, right? Because debit we record all expenses and assets, that's why it's 24 lakh. One. Then we have a sales. Sales also has a adjustments, so I'll put this inside 42. Then we have returns. Okay, so debit one is a purchase return. Sorry, debit one is a sales return, and credit one is a purchase return. So purchase return is what? Credit one, what is the credit balance? 70,000. And the debit one is a sales return. So for that, I'll write the. Then after that, we have a debtors and creditors. So debit one is the debtors balance 4,70,000. Creditors is 162. Next one, after that, what we have? We have a capital. Correct? Capital 7 lakh. No adjustment, so I can put it out. Capital is the liability, that's my credit side. Then we have a drawings. Drawings asset, so debit side. Then we have our salaries. Salaries also expense. That's why debit side. Rent also expense. So debit side. General expenses. Also debit because it's an expense. And the last one we have fixed asset. Since it is asset, that's why debit. So now the trial balance we already posted as per the rule of assets and expenses on the debit side, incomes and gains on the credit side. Okay. Now, the adjustments credit purchase of 2,20,000. So when we bought the goods, definitely our purchase is going to be increased, right? It's 220 they said. So I'll add 220 to the purchases. And when we bought on a credit basis, our creditors balance also increase. So we'll add to creditors. 2,20,000. Right? We added to purchases as well as the creditors. Similarly, credit sales. So it will increase your sales balance, 375. And when we sold goods on a credit basis, our debtors balance will increase, 375. Next, after that, we have a purchase return. Purchase return. What is the purchase return means? We are returning goods to our supplier. So our supplier means what? Who are creditors, right? So we'll separate from the creditors, 15,000. And we'll add to purchase return. Purchase return is here, 15,000. Correct? Similarly, there's a sales return. So we'll add to sales return, 10,000. And when we got the return from our customer means debtors balance will reduce by 10,000. That's it. Now we'll calculate the final balances and put it out. 24 lakh and 26 lakh 20,000. This is 42 lakh plus 3 lakh, 45 lakh 75,000. Sales comes on the credit side. Purchase return 70 plus 15, 95. Purchase return is a credit balance, correct? And sales 1 lakh 80 plus 10, 190. Sales return is a debit balance because it's a loss for us. Debtors, I'll calculate 470 plus 375 minus 10,000. 835. Debtors is an asset. So debit balance 162 plus 220 minus 15. 367. Creditors is a credit balance, 367. Now we'll do the total. $57, 37. Oh, 57, 37. I'll calculate first on the debit side. $57, 27, 000. Means 57 lakh 27,000. Okay, now I'll calculate the other side also. It's one calculation error, which is supposed to be 85,000. Okay. This is the trial balance with adjustment. Thank you.